Welcome to PCMag Live. I'm Alex Colon. This is Dan Costa. And today we're going to talk about the top 3 news stories of the day. We're going to answer one of your questions, and we're going to show you one cool thing from the labs. So let's kick it off with the first news story, which is about the potentially TV-disrupting company Aereo, who's currently in front of the Supreme Court. And the court appears conflicted over the case. So what do you think this means for TV watchers?
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Aereo. I mean, there's only been one day of hearing so far, but the justices seem very skeptical of Aereo's business model. And just to be clear, Aereo rents over-the-air antennas and then retransmits or rebroadcasts that signal over the internet so that you can watch it on your iPad, on your desktop. They charge $8 to $10 for the service, but they don't pay the broadcasters any retransmission fees. They're saying that because it's over-the-air signal and it's an IP network that it shouldn't really count as retransmission. The broadcasters are disagreeing. They want those fees. And it seems at this point that the justices are leaning towards the broadcasters.
Right.
Which is kind of disappointing because this industry is so entrenched and so conservative that we kind of want a disruptive force to hit the market. It doesn't seem like Aereo's going to get that chance, but their decision isn't in yet.
And Aereo charges how much per month?
It's $8 to $10. So the thing is, this could get you all of your local broadcast channels, including live TV. So it solves that sports problem that everybody's got to keep their basic cable package because they've got to have live sports. This could solve some of those problems. But again, it seems like they're a little bit out of step with the justices. The thing that we have to watch is how the justices write this decision, because there are a lot of cloud-based services that do things that are analogous to retransmission. If Dropbox is storing media files and then allowing you to play them through their service, does that count as retransmission? So I think the justices are going to have to be careful and make sure that their decision is very, very limited.
Right. Yeah, that'll definitely be an interesting case to watch. So let's move on to our next order, which also involves TV in a way, which is that HBO and Amazon are teaming up to offer HBO programming for Amazon Prime TV members.
Yeah, and I've heard the story. I was like, great, HBO Go. I'm a Prime member. I'm going to get HBO Go for free. That is not the case. So HBO Go is still going to be a separate app, premium service, real time. For the shows that are on right now. This is just going to be for old content, HBO old, if you will. And their old shows. After a show's been off the air for 3 years, it'll be available on Prime. But this is an exclusive deal. This is HBO picking Amazon over Netflix or any other online streaming service.
Right. So that means you're going to get to see shows like the entire series of The Sopranos and 6 Feet Under, and actually shows that are still airing but have now reached the 3-year mark. You'll see the beginning of True Blood. So you are going to get a lot of good programming, basically for free if you have the Prime membership. Yeah. And also, you did mention HBO Go. That is not going to be, that's coming to Amazon Prime, but that's still going to be at some point by the end of the year.
Yeah, and you're still going to need to have a basic cable package in order to get Go. So it's, again, not as disruptive, but definitely a big win for Amazon, and probably a good move for HBO as well.
Yeah, and if you have Amazon Prime, you can look forward to a lot of shows coming your way. And so let's go into the next order of news, which is that Akamai just released its latest State of the Internet report, which has a lot of interesting stuff. It's based on the 4th quarter of 2013, and the good news is that the internet seems to be getting faster. But the bad news is the attacks on the internet are just growing.
Yeah, this is Akamai is a company that we know very well, operating a website. They do a lot of caching. They collect tons of data on how the internet is operating. Very important back-end player. And they release this report every year. So yeah, the top 10 countries are now above the high broadband threshold of 10 megabits per second. That's a great benchmark. It's a great thing for the country and for the internet. Globally, the average internet speeds are increasing. South Korea still phenomenally fast. Ireland really fast connections. The U.S. is now in that top 10, but not towards the top of the pack. But again, the DDoS attacks, the attack traffic, is also skyrocketing, and that's sort of the dark side of this story.
Yeah, the top sources of attack traffic are China's the highest at 43%, the U.S. is at 19%, and then Canada at 10%. So it's really increasing everywhere.
Yeah.
So now let's move into our reader question. We have a question from Abraham, who asks via email, I've heard all this talk about WhatsApp, but I don't know anybody who uses it. Is it something I should be using?
Yeah, it's a great app. Facebook made big news with their acquisition. They just passed 500 million subscribers. So that's a lot of people using the app. Very few of them are in the US. It's because WhatsApp is primarily used for unlimited texting and sharing of photos. In the US, a lot of people are on unlimited texting plans, so they don't really think about how much each text costs. Internationally, it's different, and WhatsApp is a great alternative. I don't really see WhatsApp getting a lot of traction in the US because of the way we use our phones. But if you do need to talk to people overseas, you're going to find more and more that people overseas are going to use WhatsApp to get back to you.
Definitely, and I think WhatsApp costs like $1 a year.
It's $1 a year. They say that even after the Facebook acquisition, they don't plan on raising their prices. In fact, they say they may add voice communication and voice services, and that could be really interesting and really disruptive.
Okay, so yeah, with that said, let's move on to our one cool thing from the labs.
Indeed.
And our cool thing is the new OnePlus One smartphone. But just to be clear, this is a prototype. Yeah. This was just announced. This was just shown today. It's the basically it's a sort of Nexus 5 competitor. It costs $299, and it has Samsung Galaxy 5 level specs.
And that's the amazing thing. This is like half the price of the Galaxy S5 or the HTC One.
It's almost
really disruptive.
And it's an unlocked phone. In the US, it could run on both AT&T and T-Mobile's bands. It has a 5.5-inch 1080p IPS screen. It's a 2.5 gigahertz Snapdragon 801 processor. So it's really top-of-the-line hardware. 13 megapixel camera, 5 megapixel front-facing camera. And it's also pretty beautiful to look at. It's nice, it's light. It's kind of huge, but I think a lot of people are going for that right now. That's the way they build them
these types. Now this is a prototype, so it's not widely available, but users will be able to get it this week. But there's a catch.
There's a pretty big catch. There will be 100 phones available on Friday, but in order to get one, you're going to have to smash your current phone and provide evidence of it.
Okay, so it's a publicity stunt, but not a bad one.
No, I mean unless you're the 101st person to smash your phone.
Check first before you smack down your iPhone.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, on Friday, if you're interested. We currently have a hands-on right now on PCMag, and as soon as we get a review unit, we'll have a review up.
Very cool.
So thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow.